So I've had a request to do a video on edible plants and identifying them, and that they might look better if I don't just get them and pick them and show them on camera. So it changes throughout the year, and seasonally that's great because that's what would be happening in the wild. And always try and push yourself to learn more than 2 or 3 types of plant, because tortoises can eat, it's been documented, easily 20 plus plants in their regular diet. We'll just let that helicopter go round. It's huge, you have to look. They're rubbernecking. So, that's over. We grow stuff in pots around the enclosures so we can easily feed a balanced diet. So give it another month and we'll have antirrhinums come through, snapdragons, which you can buy from the garden centre and grow. You'll never want to feed anything straight from the garden centre, but new blooms, after you've kept them a few weeks, they won't have sprays on and they're fine to feed. We will feed a little bit of strawberry leaf, but it's not their favourite. And through here, this is a real favourite. It doesn't look like much at the moment, but this is evening primrose. And this will grow really tall towards the end of the summer and have beautiful trumpet-like yellow blooms which come out in the evening, which the tortoises absolutely adore. We do try and grow a little bit in the enclosures as well so that they can browse a little bit, but we also put a lot of aggregate in, so it's really well drained and it's very much like the Mediterranean. You can probably see some of the tortoises here. We've got a little elderly Moroccan in the back enclosure here. There's a little female Horsfield who's waiting for a home, who's just making her way and clambering round. Down here, this is quite rare. This is a young Algerian whitey-eye girl, just catching some rays. So just trying to encourage natural behaviour. You don't want to just give them something plain. You want to give them different things. Forget-me-nots are not toxic. They're not super keen. They might eat it when it's young, but that's more just to create enrichment in the enclosure. And the same goes for geranium. They can eat it, but they're not big fans, unless you had a larger breed of tortoise like a sulcata or a leopard maybe. So other things that are lurking around, we've got a type of dandelion family down here. It's great to feed dandelion, but just remember it's a diuretic, so it should only be part of a diet, because otherwise it can dehydrate them because they can urinate too much. This is pointy leaf plantain growing here. You can pick this all year round in the UK. You can see the pods, and you used to turn them over and flick them at each other when you were kids. Some of you might remember that. That's a good way of identifying. It's very ribbed on the back here. See? What else we've got down here? There's a very small plant. This is sort of like a heart-shaped leaf. It's called nipplewort. They like to eat that. What else have we got? You got your classic clovers. It is quite, I don't like to feed a huge amount of clover because it is quite a fattening option for tortoises. You've got cat's ear. You've got an ant's nest down here, that's what you can't see, but it's like a furry leaf on the back. So it looks a bit like a dandelion, but it's furry, and this is a great one to grow and feed. It's another type of dandelion family there. And they'll eat the flower and the leaf. What else have we got? It's a purple one they don't eat. I've forgotten what that's called. They don't eat ivy. Normally anything with a waxy leaf is toxic to a tortoise. So if you've got something growing from a bulb, it's going to give it a tummy ache. So like bluebells, daffodils, camellias, they're all things that you want to avoid. Some people are going, oh, I'm really scared of feeding that I'll pick something toxic. The ones to really learn are the ones that are highly toxic to a child. Lily of the valley, deadly nightshade, yew-berries, that sort of thing. They're the ones you absolutely have to learn and make sure you don't feed. And also anywhere that might have been sprayed with pesticides, a weed killer. But if it's something in the garden that's not a feed but isn't highly toxic, if it accidentally eats it, don't panic, just put something round and make sure they don't eat it again, and give them lots of access to fluids. So you want to avoid them eating things like foxglove flowers, because if they eat it in high volumes, that it's going to it could potentially be harmful. Same goes with buttercup, it is a high toxin. If it accidentally eats a buttercup, you're going to be okay. But if it ate a large amount of buttercups, that could potentially be a problem because it has got toxins in it. For more detailed reference on high feed, occasional feed and absolutely no feed, I highly recommend the Tortoise Table, which is a free app you can download, which is a great guide to find out, learn the plants if you want to double check something that's in the garden. We'll carry on our walk here. I think this is called Cranesbill. This one with the red base when you pull it up. They can eat it, but I've never had any luck with Mediterraneans. But again, if you had a large breed like a sulcata or a leopard, they probably would. I think it's a bit more woody. They don't eat dock leaves. For those of you who know what a dock leaf looks like this. Here, don't eat dock leaf. They could technically eat a proper nettle, but I find particularly like whitey eyes and stuff, they've got very soft mouths and it stings their mouths and they don't like it. Same goes for things that are really thistly. This is our pick paddock, so we've actually grown this from seed so that we can actually pick more range of food throughout the summer. So got some speedwell in here which they can eat, which is the little purple flower. I believe that's speedwell. Message if I got that wrong. And this is very young chicory, which will later on have big purple flowers. Feed a lot of that here at the centre. Right, if you come this way. There's the forget-me-not again. Again, it's not toxic, but they're not super keen. Trying to see if I can see any brambles. Tortoises can eat bramble shoots. You can eat any of you get soft thistle, and then there's slightly spikier thistle. They can eat that. Young goosegrass you can try and mix in. Again, it's not a favourite, but it's a good one to mix in because it's very fibrous, and a high fibre diet is really important for a tortoise to give it a healthy gut. What else have we got? Ah, perfect. This one you see a lot in spring, pink nettle. That's a good one to mix as a regular pick. Another type of dandelion here. And again, another type of dandelion. Loads of different varieties. Okay, sticky weed. This one's borage. It's not a feed, but not one you need to worry about either. And you see we've got our pick paddocks here. And you might see at the back we've got raised planters. Now the reason for that is the tortoises can't climb up and strip it down to the nub, so it's great, so you can pick it throughout the year. You see down here these guys have had a really good go. The bitter cress has just gone over, so I don't think I can show you that very easily. This is one in the shade here. Bitter cress has a lovely little white flower. It's very delicate, but it's gone to seed now. I'm going to show you. This one is a safe feed, but they're not that keen on eating it unless it's young. And I wonder what it's called in a minute. You can see there's some more cats here down here. Look at that for a patch. You do have to be a bit careful if you're picking out in the public, because you want to pick where dogs haven't weed, but also you're not meant to pick wild flowers, so you have to be a bit careful. Try and ask permission when you can. Get friends who've got allotments to collect plants for you. You can pick a couple of times a week and then put it in a bag and put it in the fridge, so you don't have to pick every day as well. More cats here, down here. Love cats here, and it's a lovely yellow flower and that's chicory. Honeysuckle. Leaves, mainly the flowers to feed, but they love honeysuckle flowers. This is garlic hedge mustard. If you rub the leaf, it It smells garlicky. You can see the little flower there. Get a lot of that in the spring, you can feed that. Willow herb is the one that I said I didn't know a minute ago. I'm not so keen on the more aggressive honeysuckle, which has got the pointy leaf. I prefer the more natural one that they'd find in the wild, which has the round leaf. Sedum, it's a moderate feed because it's quite watery, but it's a firm favourite, and there's lots of different varieties of sedum that you can grow, that you can pick up and grow, that will come back every year. This is a bluebell that you wouldn't feed, that's a no feed there. So from seed, this looks a little bit like, tortoises love eating this, and this is hedge bedstraw. You can buy the seeds online, or it's in the Tortoise Club mix, seed mix. And I believe this is campanula, which is like a purple trumpet flower, which the tortoises love to eat as well. And later on, end of summer, hibiscus. I've definitely got to put some feed on here because it's gone a bit yellow. So they're going to need this. You do need to give the plants lots of water and feed in the spring, but this will be lots of blooms, and the tortoises absolutely adore flowers. We also grow Lavateria flower, which I have to show later on in the summer, which is a pink trumpet flower, and we also feed an awful lot of rose as well, and grapevine leaves as well. So, oh, and bramble leaves, there you go, look, rose leaves, can feed young shoots, they'll eat those as well. But the one, ow, I just wiped myself. The ones to really focus on is the plantain, which I showed you first, and just keep building up. Try and always feed like 2 or 3 different plants, and then put a vitamin supplement on, and then try and get the tortoises used to having like the grass cob and dried flowers just a tiny bit all year round, so they accidentally eat it throughout the summer. So then in the autumn, if you do get caught short and you do need to buy like a floret mixed salad, a rocket, a lamb's lettuce, then you are adding dietary fibre. But I would recommend also adding dietary fibre throughout the year as well, so they're used to it, because even our weeds are a little bit too lush. We want to add more fibre in as well. You want really fibrous peas, as well as calcium supplement. Our natural plants do not, the ground in the UK has a fraction of the calcium content as where they're from. And we also get less sunshine, which is why you also put a little bit of calcium D3 supplement on their food as well. So I hope that video was helpful. I'll try and do another one. Let me know what else you'd like a video on.